Good evening, everybody. Good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome, welcome. Tonight, we are going to do a training session on our new brand partner orientation and what that all entails. So just to give us a bit of an overview, this is a process and a document that you want to do with your new brand partners. And if you are a new brand partner, your active upline, your leader, or the person that has signed you up, whoever is the active person in your down or your upline, will reach out to you and then compile or go through the process with you. And it's basically a guide to set you up for success. So as a new brand partner, you have everything that you need to make a success out of this business. And we've now put together a tangible document that most of you have now printed out. So we have something to refer to. And I always encourage both the brand partner and the new enrollee to fill in the document. It's a nice reference to have. You can always refer to that and show them the way along the way if they need to. So let's carry on. Why an onboarding session? So it is to help you set up and show you every step of the way. Once a brand partner is signed up, their journey starts. And once we have brand partners, we as the upline, as the leaders, we have a responsibility towards them. We want to keep them close. We want to keep them plugged in. We want to share the information and show them step by step how to build their business. And this all helps us in our businesses with retention and retention rate. Now, getting started. The checklist is something that we all need to get going. It's a resource, it's a tool, it's a system that we apply, and it just really helps everybody and show them how to duplicate, how to do this business, and what they need to get started. So what is the process when we talk about onboarding or orientating a new brand partner? You can also introduce in your own downline and your own team a welcoming session for your new brand partner. Now, that can take the shape of a quick video call, just welcoming them in, or just a recording of your message just to say, hi, how are you? I'm so-and-so, and I am your active upline, always here to help and support and assist you. You can share our team vision or your own team vision with your downline, with your new sign-ups. You want to set up a one-on-one Zoom call for the onboarding where you have allocated time, dedicated day and time slot in front of them where you can go through the onboarding process with them step by step. Now, also just to mention here, we meet people where they're at. So depending if this is a new brand partner that has just enrolled, they want to use the product and they just need the basics, then you're going to just break it down to share the information, what they need. Maybe it's just showing them in the back office how to order their product or where to do their leg setting if they're starting to sign people up. At a later stage, you're going to revisit their onboarding and do the next steps. So we never want to overwhelm anybody. We want to meet them where they're at and help them along the way. Connect them. Let them have the printed list out, as I mentioned before. And through this, you'll see you are going to establish their goals and their why. So that brings us to the next very important part of the orientation, asking questions. Now, a big question that you've probably heard all of us ask at some stage is, why did you join LifeWave? And really here it gives the new brand partner an opportunity to really tell you, share with you. Some of these questions can also be asked in the discussion and the conversations prior to signing them up. But it's then nice to just revisit and have it on the document for future referral. The next one would be, what is your expectations regarding the product? And this is really to give us an indication if they might think that this is a quick fix, and we can then share the reality with them and give them realistic expectations. We will then ask them what is their expectation regarding the business, if they've indicated that the business is something that they might look at. Cool. So when it comes to product, we want to ask a few questions here as well, right? Did they join to resolve a health challenge or to maintain general good health? Once again, you can see how with these questions, this gives you an indication of where they're at and what the expectations are. Are you committed to patch for at least 3 to 6 months? Now, we know that Dr. David Schmidt says 90-day protocol and then a month for every decade that you are old. But we also know through listening to Dr. Stacey, Jenna Sutherland, and what we've all experienced in the field, if you've been part of LifeWave for a while, 3 to 6 months, the leaders out there, like Dr. Stacey, would even say 6 months to a year. So this just helps us set the stage to give people the realistic expectations so that they don't think that because they perhaps saw a testimony and somebody was a one-patch wonder, or within the first week, all their ailments disappeared, that is going to be the case for them. So we want to really make that clear to them in a conversation and just in a beautiful way of saying, this is a long-term journey. Let's invest in your health and let's see how it plays out. Now, we've also incorporated 7 questions that I will go through in a little while. And these 7 questions, and you can see them on the checklist now if you want to refer to them, really gives us an overview of where somebody that we've just signed up or about to sign up is with their health journey. And that will determine what we can then advise them on with regards to product without having to sound like a doctor or overwhelming a new person with the 10 products in the range. So we've also gone back to basics and our pro tip that we now implement more and more, and that is to start people with the Eon patch from the beginning to bring the inflammation down. Now, depending on how healthy they are or what their health challenges are, their age, and the 7 questions that related to that, anything between 3 days to 2 weeks on the Eon patch first. Now, why do we suggest that? If we bring the Eon patch in first, the inflammation can come down. This sets the stage, clears the house for the X39 patch to come in and do its work even more effectively. This also shows people that we are more interested in their health and their wellness than the price tag of a higher priced patch. So there's been a lot of thought that we've put in here and a lot of heart bringing this to the table. And specifically, like I mentioned before, in South Africa, where we have lots of other challenges and people might get despondent if they don't have a result quite early on because the price tag of the item is quite high for them, this then helps them to just at least give it a fair chance. And we've seen amazing results and we've tested over time now, even with some of our new brand partners and personal sign up by introducing the Aeon first and then giving it time and then bringing in the X39 at a later stage. Then we move on to back office basics. And once again, you're going to meet the brand partner where they're at. You might have already helped them with their username and their password. We always want to make sure that we keep that safe. I would often say for the people that we enroll, take a screenshot, open the little eye so you can see the password. And if they're comfortable with that, and they are, most often are, share a copy with me so we have it on file. I always say to them and reassure them, there's nothing that you need to keep under lock and key that is of high security value on the back office when you start. I, as your upline, am only taking these details to help you, to show you, and to guide you through the process. When and if you are making your millions or your gangster money, you are welcome to go in and change your password at any time. But this gives me access to help and support you. So once again, you're going to just meet them where they're at and what they feel comfortable with. So in the beginning, you might just show them how to log in. That's always a good exercise to show them the back office link, how to log in with their password and the username, and how to place an order, go to store, once they've upgraded, how to upgrade to the next kit, their leg settings, maybe the maintenance packs, wherever they are at, share that little bit of information with them. And always, when it comes to upgrading and maintenance kits and just buying product outright, always give them all the opportunities, all the options on the table, so they have them on hand. Even if you think maybe upgrading from the advanced kit to the premium kit is maybe a big jump and maybe they can't afford it, look at all the positives that is in that package. They are active for 3 months, and the price comes down even more. And maybe they are then ready to have more stock on hand, patch a family member, or lay out product before, forward for people while they're still waiting for their stock. Back on the back office, we can also show them how to do their auto ship, show them how the annual renewal works, so that all of this is familiar to them. At a later stage, at the document, you guys can also see, once there is a bit of activity on their platform, you can go back in and show them their points, show them how it would work and where they can see how close they are to the next rank, and you can go deeper as they progress. You want to also share and make sure that they have their referral link. A lot of new brand partners get confused between the two links, their personal referral link and the back office link. So on the document, you'll see that we've done it on one page. So it's all laid out and they can see it at an eye's glance. You've now just gone through the back office. That link is related to the information on the back office, and this link is their personal referral link. We do encourage brand partners to use a word, so a name, as their username, and maybe steer away from using their brand partner ID. This makes just easy for recognizing who it belongs to. But I know different people work in different places in different ways. So that's just a guideline that we want to implement, if that helps. Then the registration steps, as you know, for Team 333, we have a registration step document. And often the brand partner would already have received this with your enrollment link pre-enrollment. Then we touch on the tools. Now, for 333, we have put a whole list of tools together. For one, we have our WhatsApp groups. Now, we always encourage a brand partner, even if they just go on the info only, where only the information is shared and there's no chat, so that they can just stay plugged in. They have the information that we share. They can get a feel for the community and they know what's happening. If they perhaps say no, or you think it's early days for them, then revisit it at a later stage. I always reassure our new enrollees to know that, yes, it's a busy group. It's like-minded, like-hearted people that are just passionate about what they do, and they just want to share. But don't feel like you need to read every message or comment on every message, and put the group on mute so that it doesn't disturb life at home. It also, like I said, gives them an opportunity to plug into the community and know what's happening. We share a lot of valuable information there day to day. The other thing that's also very valuable is they get a feel for the community, the culture, and what we stand for. Then we have the testimony link tree that we've also created for Team 333 now. It's unique to you guys. You have access to it. What I would advise is, for a new brand partner, or when you share, don't share the link tree in its entirety as a full body resource. You want to find those testimonies and share with them bit by bit. Drip feeding. Once somebody becomes a brand partner, just like our toolbox, that becomes a valuable tool in their toolbox to then share on. We've got YouTube channels, right? So we've got the 333 one. That's a valuable resource. It's got all the recordings of our previous presentations, all our trainings, and so much more. It's a wealth of information, and people can really do a deep dive. There's also the other channels that we advise, that This Is It channel, the LifeWave corporate or health channel. And then Dr. Stacey and Jenna Sutherland, we really align with how they teach, the verbiage they use, how they explain things. So we really align with how they communicate and what they say, and they do share valuable information. Once again, meet the brand partner where they're at. Some of them might just want to know where they can find a recording of a presentation, and others want to do a deep dive. We've got the Facebook and other social media pages that you can share with your new brand partner. For the Life After This Is It websites, also a valuable resource. Now we've got info, This Is It info, and then This Is It team. One is for business and one is for the product. We've got our daily Zooms and presentations and also the training. So that's our team resources that you want to make them aware of. We also now have the calendar for the Linktree, valuable resource. It's there for everybody to use. Every event that we do is now on there and easy access and rolling out ahead of time. And then we've got our toolbox in Team 333, also a valuable resource. Now we know it's 400-page document and people might feel overwhelmed. So what we encourage is maybe say to them, read 10 pages a night or find a way to make it fun. Today, you heard Lucinda speaking about the Eon patch. Let's go read up about patches. Tomorrow, they might have to onboard somebody or set up their e-wallet, and they can find that information there. As long as we find a way for them to work through the tools and they know that they have that on hand. Now the fun part starts. Finally, somebody has signed up and they say, I want to look at the business. How does this work? What do I do? Once again, we're going to ask them some questions. What is your why? Why do you want to do the business in LifeWave? And guys, really in these questions, they are telling you what they want and you are getting valuable answers to know how you can support them, guide them, and help them. So as you can see here, perhaps they say, I just want to cover the cost of my patches. Or I just want to make a couple of extra dollars a month to do something special for my family. Or I want to make a lucrative business out of this. And then you're also going to ask them, how much time do you have a day or a week to put aside and work on your business? Now here you have everything on the table. If they say to you, I want to make this a lucrative business and I am only going to put aside an hour a day, realistic expectations, right? You're going to have the conversation with them and say, right, if we put in an hour a day, is this really going to get you to a lucrative business where you make good money, gangster money, like they say? Or are you willing to at least start and look at, let's start with a couple of $100 a month and build on that as you have more time? We all know that the bills get paid between the hours of 9 to 5 when people work, and you build your empire from 6 to 10. Always a nice way to share this with people. So once again, when you have a business builder, you want to keep them plugged in, you want to keep them close to the fire, you want to give them all the resources they need to be successful in this business. Something that we always talk about is the self-development when it comes to network marketing and the spiritual side of how the industry works. We also have the 40-day network navigator as a tool in our toolbox that we can use, and that is a valuable resource. Just to give some insight on what I've been doing for our personally enrolled people is every day I would send them a clip. A 15-minute clip or something that they can watch, specifically also in the beginning stages, just to motivate them, get them inspired. For some of them, I would even say the same as we ran the 40-day networker when it was on the WhatsApp group, share with me your favorite nugget. Or do you have a question that we can answer from what you've listened? And that really helps them stay engaged. It's a bit of accountability that you offer, and you are helping them every step of the way, because we know self-development is an ongoing process. It's never ending. And as you level up, as you become a leader in the industry, in the field, for your team and your downline, you need to fill your cup. I have often spoken about Chris saying to me, there's 1,000 more people in our team, and I like gasp for my breath and like, How am I going to do this? I need to level up. I need to find more self-development. What can I do? Because I need to bring my best game. I take this very seriously and I need to look after all our people. And I need to be on top of, as I always say, my AAA game, right? So I hope that is an inspiration for everybody. Then we also have some business training material. And in the document, you will see, I think there's 8 or 9 trainings that we now see as the fundamental foundation that every brand partner that comes on board and wants to do the business have to watch. It's almost like a requirement, because through this, it will set them up, give them all the information in a chronological form with the PDFs so that they know exactly what to go out and do. For instance, you'll have handling objections, the compensation plan, and that really gives them the tools to equip them to go forward. You want to also share with them that they're attending a live event and the power of that. In South Africa now, and I know in the UK, we've got regular presentations happening. Now, even if you are a brand partner already signed up and part of Lifeway for a while, going to these presentations is really powerful. And also encouraging new brand partners to attend one of these. Once again, you get plugged into the community, you get a feel for what's happening, and you really feel and see people's heart. Any training events that we do, the corporate events that are happening, and definitely the event in Cape Town, in Joburg in December. Another one that is very important is you want to explain to them how it works in network marketing when we talk about exposure to your upline. Exposure to the upline is one of the valuable things that we have in this industry. And I think it's sometimes underrated. And sometimes it can also be that new people just don't understand exactly what it is. So really go a little bit deeper with them, explain how that can work, and everybody can find their own sweet spot. So for us, it can be anything from meeting a new brand partner and just asking them, why did they join LifeWave? What was it that ticked the box for them? Getting to know them a little bit better. We do those calls often when we're driving from A to B or on our way somewhere, very spontaneous, in the flow. And we can even do something that's a bit more structured. If it's somebody that we can have to expose to somebody else like George or Harvey, then we can set that up as a call. We just came off a call with some of the brand partners, the newer ones, and we had a half an hour chat with Harvey, and he just shared his nuggets and his wisdom with them. So know that you all have active uplines that is connected to you, strong leaders in the field, and they are ready there to help and support. Then we come to the very important thing, and that is the name list. The name list, the name list, the name list. This is not going to go away. This is going to stay. This is your most important tool. It's an ever-growing, evolving document as well, a list that you are going to add everybody. Don't prejudge. Use the memory jogger and know that your network is your net worth. And this is really valuable. And then you'll also see at the last page of the document, we've put together a list where brand partners and new enrollees can write their 20 people. And I almost want to say this is their testing ground. This is their first exercise. This is where they can make mistakes. This is where they're going to learn. As an upline, you can then say to them, write your list down, send it to me. Let's do some practice calls. Let me make 1 or 2 calls for you to show you how I would do it and just break the ice for them. Maybe sit in when they do a few calls and just help them as much as you can. Not everybody feels comfortable to just pick up the phone and start a conversation. For Chris, it comes naturally. It just flows out of him. Sometimes I wonder, how do you do it? Because I just still struggle. So it's really just about going really, really deep. And for those that haven't watched the training that Mike and Sahi did on Saturday on This Is It, please go have a look. He went really, really deep and broke it down to the nitty-bitty bits that you need in the beginning. how to speak to people, how he talks about pre-qualifying people. He doesn't prejudge them, but he pre-qualifies them. He is somebody that is at the moment only looking for business builders. And he talks about his sign-up rate is probably like 1%. He speaks to 15 people and only one says yes. And he has a process how he does it. He's perfected the art, and that's exactly what it is. Just a skill and a tool that we all can learn. And we just really have to go back to basics. And then also just to touch on that, so this is going to be their training ground where they're going to make mistakes and set them up for success, giving the space and time where they can just know they can work through it, they can make some mistakes, they're going to get lots of no's, but their yeses will come. They're going to work through all the objections that come forward and just go through the list accordingly. What I also want to explain here and just mention maybe that is valuable is we always want to see how we communicate with our brand partners or the new people that we are prospecting in a way that almost looks like a dance. So Chris mentioned that maybe in the second conversation to his friend, he mentioned what he's doing. But for others, it can be a long process where you maybe just chit-chat about normal life and what you're doing. You might send a message to somebody and say, "Hi, how are you? We haven't spoken for so long. How's work? How's the kids?" They might come back and say, "Yes, how are you? We haven't spoken. Oh, life is good. My kids are grown up." And you go back and say, "Yes, that's true. Our kids are also now left the house." Back and forth, back and forth. There might be a moment where they mention something about their health or about a family member. And then you can say, "Yes, I also had a struggle with that." Or life is really a tough journey at the moment. I wonder what we can do to make this better for everybody. Where is this going to go? Maybe you'll say something there. You're still not going to talk about LifeWave. You're going to take your time and you're going to wait for the right moment where they almost going to say to you, "I've been running the comrades and now my muscles are really tight and my recovery time and you can just say, 'You know what, I've experienced the same thing. And a friend introduced me to a patch, the X49 perhaps, and it's really done remarkable things for me.'" Still, you are just in conversation and you're just sharing an experience and your life. The friend might come back and say, "Wow, that sounds exciting. Can you share some more?" And then you're going to start drip feeding. So can you guys see how this is a longer process for most of us? It's about planting the seed, watering, nurturing, doing the dance, and finally looking for that moment where you can leap in and just in a very spontaneous way share what we have in our hands. And then as brand partners, as Upline, as leaders, as we sign people up, we have a responsibility. We always want to make sure that we add value to them. We want to lead by example. We want to provide the trainings and the resources that they need, set them up for success. We want to recognize them, celebrate them. And I know a lot of the leaders in the community, when their brand partners become manager or reach a certain goal, then they have a reward that they roll out for their team. Also, with the roadshows for next year, corporate is doing a success day. And what a success day is acknowledging all the rank advancements and people that have rank advance and qualified, and a celebration around that. So soon, we're going to have that on our own doorstep, and also with the new compensation plan, all those beautiful gifts that brand partners will receive as they rank up is a beautiful way to just celebrate the small little goals, small achievements. Through this document, we also aim to make duplication easy for everybody. We talked about mentorship, support, and just being there for them. Focus on personal development and help them also join as we build the community and the culture of what Team 333 stands for. This is a quote that I shared at the London Convention, and it's something that's just evolved over time, where we've realized that, if people get a result, we will have them in our business for a longer time. And if we lose them because they had high hopes and maybe expectations that weren't met, we lose them, possibly in more ways than one. So keep that in mind as we go down this journey where we sign our new enrollees up, hold their hands, show them the way, and then just guide them. We've got so much knowledge and wisdom that we can share. And with all the tools that we've created for you guys, it's really opening the pathway for you to just grab and run. So I hope you have enjoyed that. How are we for time? Okay, still fine. So I've basically spoken through what is happening on the checklist. We have also created a link tree for the orientation process that will be shared. We'll probably do it later on this evening on the groups as well. The reason for that is so that everything is just in one place, in one body, all held together. What I would suggest is as you enroll a new brand partner and you've done the full enrollment with them and they are now strong and happy to go forward to enroll their brand partners and orientate them, then share the link tree with them. Once again, just always be mindful to not overwhelm them and feel like you know there's too much for them to deal with. I think I've covered everything. Oh, so let's just go through the 7 questions so we all understand that. So like I explained, we were trying to look for ways that we can really just help people have realistic expectations. What can we do to support them? And when you look at these different questions, and if they answer yes for most of them, we pretty much have an idea where they sit with their health challenges. For instance, if it's a young person, maybe they just don't drink enough water, they don't have a lot of health issues or challenges, we can start them on a patching suggestion on the Eon for, say, 3 to 5 days. And then introduce the X39, just so that we set the stage, we clear the house, and the X39 can do its job better. If it's, for instance, somebody that's on chronic medication, they're elderly, they have maybe had the vaccine or trauma and other challenges in their life, maybe lots of ailments, then we're going to look at more of a 10-day to 14-day process, even a whole month, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. What I can also highlight here is, for instance, if we sign up somebody at the starter kit, even introduce the Aeon for them as their beginning patch, and then let them patch that for a week, and then or for a month, and then after that, bring in the X39. Once again, we want to meet people where they're at. If somebody says to you, no, I just want to start on the X39, this is just sharing information and insight that we've gained over the last 3 years. So it's always up to them of what they want to do. But we have seen amazing results with the inflammation coming down and then the X39 doing its job almost better. Here you guys can just see the layout of the back office. As mentioned, you'll go through that with them bit by bit as they grow, as they become more active in the business. You will show them more things on the back office, like where they'll see their enrollment team, the binary tree, and. Obviously, most of this will change when we have the new .com in back office, but then we'll obviously update all of this. Here's all the tools with all the links. There was something, yeah, I think that's it. I've covered everything there. Oh, and then the health tracker as well, a very valuable tool that you can even hand over to a new brand partner as soon as they receive their patches. Here we've gone through everything on the business side. Yes, another one is number 9. Watch something regarding David Schmidt once a week. So this just keeps them in frequency. He's the source. When David talks and we'll hear that message, everything connects, right? All those links are now in the testimony link tree right at the bottom, so also easy to access. We've talked about exposure to the upline and just explaining that for a new person, the same as line of sponsorship. A lot of people are new to the industry and the terminology and the way that we like to do things might be new to them. And then live events. Here you can see the name list. This is going to be their trial and error. This is where they are allowed to make mistakes, grow, and learn. And then the health tracker. I think that's it. That's it for me. I hope that everybody has found great value in that. I don't think, yes. And then just to say, like I said earlier on, most of the leaders have gotten their onboarding, they're fully equipped, they have all the information, they're rolling it out to their downline teams. If there's anybody that is not sure who they're connected to or would like to reach out, I'm happy to do a few more here and there and see where we can help, or just connect you with your direct upline so that you can get the onboarding that you need. Go.
Oh, wow. There we go. Let me give Lucinda a round of applause there. That was absolutely, absolutely amazing. Oh my goodness. There we go. We put that on.
That's what happens if you've done it over 60 times, right? Then it just happens.
I'm so proud. Let me tell you guys, those of you that don't know, Lucinda comes from the clothing industry. Lucinda had her own clothing company for 20 years. So Lucinda comes from the retail space. So, when we joined LifeWave, I'd done network marketing prior in my life when I was in my early 20s, but I was out of the industry for 2 decades. 2 decades I was out of the industry. So grateful to be back. But let me tell you, Lucinda, she won't mind me saying this. She was a fish out of water.
Oh, yeah. I admit it openly.
She was a fish out of water.
Fish out of water. Probably for the first, I would even say, year and a half, 2 years.
Year and a half to 2 years. Lucinda was battling to just put everything together. But what was so impressive is Lucinda was like a sponge. She was like SpongeBob SquarePants. Let me tell you, she just said to me, Chris, what do I need to learn? And people were saying, oh, but you know what? You've got Chris. It's so easy.
Yeah, it must be so easy. You've got Chris right next to you.
Guys, I was hard on Lucinda. Let me tell you, she'd ask me for stuff and she'd want the shortcut answer. And I wasn't being spiteful or nasty or anything. I said, no, you've got to watch this and learn. But you know the answer. Just tell me. I said, I'm not telling you.
The other side of that is also I had to apply it.
You have to apply it.
Even if you gave me all of that information, I had to put it into practice. I had to sit down and make my list. I had to phone people. I had to crunch down. And that's when the magic happens. Once you invest those hours, you'll often hear a lot of the leaders talk about if you want to be successful in anything, pilot, driving a car, they talk about 10,000 hours that you need to invest, that you need to put in to be able to do it. We can all refer back to how we were when we first started driving a car, right? Brakes, paddles, mirrors, and now we all drive without thinking. So it's the same kind of thing. Once you put in those hours, it becomes natural.
Yeah, it's learning anything new. If you think about schooling, we had 12,000 hours worth of schooling. If you work it out, and that's a lot of programming and conditioning that we went through in our schooling curriculum. And there's a lot of unprogramming that has to happen right now because this industry. I can see Julia nodding her head. Yep, there's a lot of unprogramming that has to happen because from the traditional job world, if you want to call it, this is so completely topsy-turvy. It's upside down, and it's a process because it's not normal. The industry is not normal. It's kind of like everything is upside down. And let me tell you why everything is upside down. I'm sure you've probably heard, you guys that have been around for a while, you've shared it with friends and family, and you're going to find out that everybody's not as excited as you are.
Yep.
And you can't understand that because at the end of the day, we're talking about frequencies, tuning into the radio station that Beverly and I were talking about. And you're going to get some people that are going to send some funny remarks to you, and they're going to say, oh, are you part of one of those things? Well, what thing? What are you talking about? You're in a pyramid scheme. And I go, oh, my goodness, you got a lot to learn. You got a lot to learn. That is my absolute favorite when somebody says to me, oh, that's a pyramid scheme. And the first thing I'll say is, Julia, you work for a company, right? How long have you worked for that company? and Julia will come back and say, "Oh, I've worked there X amount of years," and say, "Right, you earn a salary at the end of the month for your work." And she'll go, "Yes, well, that's kind of the norm out there. I'm going to earn a salary." So I want to ask you something, Julia. Do you have a boss? And 9.5 times out of 10, they can go, obviously, I have a boss. Now, does your boss earn more money than you? Hell yes, he's the boss. That's obvious. Now, guys, look at that. Programming, obvious the boss earns more money. And then next question I like to ask is, does your boss have a boss? And they're like, yes. Does he earn more money than you and the boss? Yes. Well, who is the one that works the hardest? And everybody goes, I'm the one that works my butt off. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know how to tell you this, but you're in a pyramid scheme. That's the corporate world, guys. If you're working for a boss and you're in the corporate world, that is a pyramid scheme because you will never out earn your boss or become more than what the CEO is. That's not how the system has been designed. Where network marketing, guys, listen to this. It's upside down.
Yeah.
It's the exact opposite. Let me tell you why. Think about a company that we all know, Ford. We all know Ford Motor Corporation. They manufacture motor cars. There's only one CEO. There can only be one CEO of Ford, correct? At any given time. You can't have 5 CEOs. It doesn't work like that. What I love about this beautiful industry, our top rank is called, anybody know? What is the top rank in LifeWave? It's called SPD, meaning Senior Presidential Director. That's the top rank of LifeWave. There's over 600 SPDs in LifeWave. So can you see there are over 600 CEOs running their own business? So can you see how everything is topsy-turvy? It's the other way around. And like we said in the beginning, what you put in is what you're going to get out. If you treat this like a business, you're going to earn really good money. If you treat it like a hobby, you're going to earn hobby money. So what you put in is what you're going to get out. And you can short track, guys. That's what's so beautiful about this industry. And most importantly, guys, you've heard George talk about this before. In the network marketing industry, it's like riding a bicycle with the wind in your face. But with LifeWave, you're going downhill with the wind against your back. Because I don't think you guys realize when we talk about 200 patents, we call it the gift of no competition.
Yeah.
It's called the gift of no competition. I don't think everybody realizes what we have in our hands, that we've got this beautiful industry with no competition, which changes the entire ballgame. Guys, you've seen the figures, 3,000% growth in the last 5 years, and we haven't started yet. We haven't even scraped the tip of the iceberg. Oh, my hat. Guys, we haven't even started yet. That is the pot. Okay, come on, let me just catch my breath here. Sorry, I get so excited. I mean, I'm 3 years in, and I'm excited like the first day I joined. I am so excited. I wake up every day with gratitude for what we're doing and being able to bless and help other people. There's no more satisfaction that you can get. And that's what this industry can give you. And what it also does, it short tracks your time. So what you can achieve in 20 years in the traditional corporate world, you can achieve in 2 to 3 years.
And that's basically what happened with me. After 3 years, I'm still not an expert. I can still learn a lot. But I can definitely say I have changed careers, shifted careers, and feel very blessed that this is what we can do. This is something I can do for the rest of my life. Many of you have heard my story where I talk about the retail industry and the challenges that one has. And as you grow older, you know, your energy levels might go down, or just your dreams and your wishes also change, and you want to do something else till the day that you are ready to stop working. So it's really remarkable what anybody can achieve, and also anybody can outrank the next person or the person.
I'm so glad you said that. Right? I'm so glad. As you guys know, George signed me up. We all know George. There are many weeks that I earn more than George, but George signed me up. Now that is what's so beautiful about this industry, is that you can out-earn and outrank absolutely everybody. So it's just phenomenal. And all I can say is, in closing off tonight, I just want to send out gratitude to David Schmidt, our founder and inventor of X39 and LifeWave. we wouldn't all be here if it wasn't for that man's dream. And let me tell you something, he had a lot of ridicule. He had a lot of people saying no to him in the beginning. You know how thick his skin would have to be. And he went through all of that. And this is where we are today. I want to say thank you to George for being persistent and sending me 21 messages before I said yes. Thank you, George. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, Harvey. In New Jersey, our uplines. Thank you, Mark and Sahi Hernandez. Thank you, Stephen, Gina Merritt, for putting this as a system together. Right now, we're just in a complete set of gratitude, and we want to see everybody at the top. And I'd like to finish off with a saying by Zig Ziglar. Zig Ziglar said, if you help enough other people what they want in life, you will automatically get what you want in your life. And that's what this is all about, is helping one person at a time, one patch at a time. So, Lucinda, thank you, my angel. You did a fantastic job.
Pleasure, team.
Thank you, everybody.
Run with this now. It's done. It's there for you guys to be successful. That is all we want for you. And just our biggest wish is for all of you to be successful and do this with us. Come join us.
Enjoy your evening.
Take care.
Love you all.
Bye-bye.
See you all on the Zooms. Have an awesome evening. Good night, everybody. Bye, guys.